Hi guys, welcome to my vlog. If you're new here, just a little bit of an introduction about myself. I'm the author, CL Rose, and as I mentioned, I do have 2 books published, A Second Chance and The Blood Moon Matron. I've started this channel to just sort of do a bit about what I enjoy, sort of a bit about myself, about my writing, about books I've read and reviewed. I'm also talking about my life as a mother, and I'm also talking about my currently on my journey changing and fixing my relationship with myself and my body dysmorphia, and trying to undo all of the toxic traits I've picked up over the years, dieting and just all that sort of stuff really. So today I will be talking about my Throne of Glass journey. Now, for those who do or don't know, I started reading Throne of Glass, I think in the summer last year. I think I started reading it from when I can't exactly remember when, to be honest. I feel it might have been the spring or the summer last year. I loved it. All 8 books. Loved it. Loved all of it. Really, really did. And I was told you would start these books and you will never be the same again. 100%, that is very, very true. I finished these books about a month ago-ish, maybe a little bit before that. And I'm just still not over it. I still think about Throne of Glass quite a lot. I still think about the characters quite a lot. I still think about the journey quite a lot. So I don't think there'll ever be anything that really takes me on that journey ever again. I have started Crescent City. I kind of went straight into Crescent City. So I read ACOTAR, then Throne of Glass, and then I've gone into Crescent City. So I am fully in the Sarah J. Maas at the moment, Sarah J. Maas universe at the moment. I'm completely enthralled. There's no getting me out for a while. I don't mind Crescent City. It's definitely not had the hold on me as the others did, though I am about 60 chapters in now, 60 to 70 chapters in. So I'm good 3/4 of the way through the first book. And it is getting a bit better now. Like I'm up for reading it a bit more. Well, listening. I listen to the books. I don't read them. I listen to them because I think, because obviously she makes these whole massive universes, I struggle when I can't read the names. Sounds really silly. When I can't read the names of people's characters or places, I end up just being like, so she went to, and it was cold. Yeah, I can't seem to get over the fact that I can't read the word or mispronounce the word. It sounds really silly. I know it shouldn't matter, but it really throws me off if I can't understand the book and understand the terminology. So I found listening to them has given me so much more. I think now if I picked them up and reread them, I'd be fine because I know the words and I know the places, but reading them has really helped me get into the universe. So that has been like, honestly, if you're struggling to read them, I would seriously recommend listening to them because you really do just get lost in the world. It's amazing. So I read Throne of Glass in the romantic order or publication order. So I read it as Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, Assassin's Blade, Queen of Shadows. Then I tandem read Empire Storms and Tower of Dawn. And then I read Kingdom of Ash, obviously the last book. Now, I really enjoyed reading it that way because I am primarily a romance reader. If everything has romance in it, I'll give it a go. It doesn't matter if it's fantasy or not, I'll give it a go. I love romance, as long as it's got a bit of romance in it. If it doesn't have romance in it, I do struggle to pick it up. Though this isn't fully romance, obviously, it's a very slow burning romance. You sort of meet these characters and then you've got a good 3 or 4 books before people are starting to really get into relationships and stuff like that. I thought I would struggle with it, but obviously there was a lot going on and I didn't need to worry about that. I didn't even notice there wasn't that much romance in it. So I'll get into it then. I had to refresh my memory, so forgive me if I have to keep looking down my notes, because obviously 8 books is a lot of stuff to remember. And like I said, I am a mother of 3. I don't sleep very much, so I may forget things. So we will dive in now. So I'll start with Throne of Glass. Now, be prepared. If you do not want any spoilers regarding this series, don't watch this video, because I will be talking about people that get killed. I'll be talking about major plot twists. I'll be talking about relationships. If you do not want to know that, don't watch this video, guys. Do not watch. Right, you've been warned. Again, so starting with Throne of Glass. I really enjoyed Throne of Glass. It was a good way to start off. I felt like, obviously, as I read Throne of Glass first, you kind of find out that something quite pivotal has happened to the main character, Selena, or Aelin, whoever you want to call her. I'm going to call her Selena for the first 3 books, and then I'll change, because her name, obviously, she's 2 different people. She starts off as Selena Sardathian. She is an assassin who ends up going into a labour camp. And that's kind of where you start off in Throne of Glass. You meet her there, and you sort of meet her because the Prince Dorian of Orderland is picking a champion for his king. And he selected her. He wants to bring her to become the king's champion, because Selena Sardathian is known for being a really good assassin, essentially. So he picks her, and they go and find her, and she's obviously very broken. She's been in this labour camp for 18 months, I think it is. She's had her heart absolutely shattered and broken because somebody she was in love with was killed. And that was quite hard, but you kind of see that she's a very broken and sad person when you first meet her. And what I love about these books is, like, you everything happens for a reason. Nothing is by chance. She doesn't make characters up or do anything like that without there being a reason why she's made these characters and put them into her life, and why you're introduced to them in the first place. So I found that, like, I obviously didn't understand how vast the story would be. I knew it was going to be immense, but I didn't think it'd be that long. I loved Dorian and Selena to start with. I love Dorian anyway. He's one of my favourites. I say that, most of them are my favourites. There's no one I don't like in the books. I love them all. But I loved Dorian's sort of how he was like this spoiled, arrogant prince, and you meet him and he's all about womanizing, and he's obviously you think he's not serious about his role, and you know what I mean? And he's just like a kid. They're all kids, by the way. Like, it's mad that she's only like 18 or 19. Like, she's so young in this. But yeah, I love how you sort of meet him and you can see the sparks of flirtation between Dorian and Selena, and you know something's probably going to happen between them. But then there's like a scene where I think Kale and Selena are on these horses heading back to the glass castle, and I knew straight away. I was like, something's going to happen. Something is going to happen between these two. I knew straight away. And you know what? I loved it. And I will die on this hill. I loved Selena and Kale. They were one of my favourite pairings. Loved it. And I feel like not a lot of people did like them, but I loved them. I really did. I was really gunning for them from the beginning. So that was a bit of a heartbreak. But anyway, we'll move on. I'll describe that later on. I love how you sort of meet these people like Nehemia and Duke of Parrington and Caltaine. Like, you meet all these people and you don't know how much they're going to impact the later books, which is amazing. I love that. I just read them thinking I'll probably just forget about them because I'm never going to know about them again. But you don't. Everyone she meets, everything she does, it all has a reason and it all comes back and it all links in. And I love that about these books. I liked her and Dorian. Obviously, that relationship fizzled out by the end of it. She does her tasks. She becomes the king's champion. She wins her task. Obviously, you find out about Elena and all that sort of story about the history of it all. It's very complicated to put down in a few words. But you find out about the Stone of Elena. She goes to the tombs. She finds out about Elena and Gavin and all that. And I feel like, again, at first, I didn't really take much notice of it. I thought, oh, that's cool. You know, some old fae queen is coming back and she's helping her. And she's helping her with all this Vogue stuff and teaching her about word keys and stuff like that. Oh, that's not going to be that important. It's pretty freaking important. So if you do read it, make sure you pay attention to all that stuff as well. I did like that. I feel like the relationships move quite quick in this. So like her and Nehemia weren't really anything, and then suddenly they're best friends. So the book ends. Her relationship with Dorian fizzles out. There are a few kisses, there are a few stuff like that. Nothing ever comes of it. She obviously then sort of has feelings for Kale at the end of the book, which I loved. But that's also maybe not so great either. And then she obviously has like Nehemia she's friends with, and you sort of finish the book and she's the king's champion, and then she has to be taken on as the king's assassin, and that kind of where that first book finishes. It's really good. It's really quick pace. It's not slow in any places. I did sort of feel a little bit bored when she was looking around the castle for stuff, researching things and stuff like that. I kind of thought maybe when she was reading the books that it might have been Kale behind it and not Dorian, but it ended up being Dorian helping her with reading books and giving her books that he liked, and that was cute. But yeah, overall, really liked Throne of Glass, really good. We moved on to Crown of Midnight. Again, she becomes the assassin for the king. There's the rebel movement in Rifthold going on. Her and her relationship with Kale grows, which I loved. I wish it'd been longer. Like, I'm such a romantic. I would just read about romance all the time. Obviously, that's not everyone's cup of tea. I feel like there could have been more moments, or it could have been longer. It could have been grown more. Nehemia is killed, and that breaks Selena. It also ends her relationship with Kale, essentially, because Kale knew about the death threats to Nehemia and didn't say anything. But again, I feel like he's been a bit unjustly slaughtered here. I feel like he didn't really... He kind of got told these threats were happening. Nothing really going on. He's like, just keep an eye on it. Yeah, cool. He went out, and then like 2 chapters later, she got killed. Like it was really quick. It suddenly went from they were together, Nehemia's killed, they're not together, the rebel movement goes crazy. Like it's mental. Kale gets taken by the rebels. She goes in, which I freaking loved. I loved how she saved Kale. She was like bang, 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 killed everyone. She was just immense, Selena. She was so cool in that. But then obviously Nehemia was killed at the same time, and it was I didn't like it at all. But I think that's because I loved their relationship and I didn't like it. That's how it ended. But yeah, so they sort of, there's not really much more to go on that really. It's hard because obviously Kale's very loyal to the Empire. It causes a rift very early on. And Selena and him aren't on the same page. That was heart-wrenching because I really, really liked them together. Dorian's magic. I liked that Dorian got magic. I liked that popped up. I wasn't suspecting that, but I liked it. And obviously now I look back and go, oh yeah, obviously he would have had magic because his father hated magic. But then you also find out about his father too. But again, I don't want to give too much away just yet. I'll talk about that bit when it comes to it. So everything was very doomed for Kale and Selena after her death. And then obviously it gets exposed that Selena isn't just Selena. She is a fae, and she's actually the lost princess of Terrasen. She's also Elaine. No, what's she called? Elaine? No, Aelin. That's it. There's so many names. She's got so many names, man. She wears them like hats. She just like constantly changes them. So yeah, she ends up. You find out she's actually the lost princess of Terrasen. I really, really didn't like that everything was against him. But I also understand why she did these, why Selena had to go through this, because she had to be broken to really, really take her off the path that she was taking herself down. She had to really alter her path and go back to her roots and go back to Terrasen and fight this movement that was going on. So yeah, so that's the first 2 books. I hope that was interesting. It's made me realise, actually, that there's quite a lot to go through with these books. I will break this up into a few videos, so hopefully come back to the next one. I'll be talking about Heir of Fire and Assassin's Blade. Right, see you next time, guys.